Hi, welcome to the Passionate Spinner podcast. I think this is episode 60. I hope. I don't know. Yeah, great start, right? So, thank you for being here. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram if you want to. There's a Ravelry group for the podcast with a lot of fun things going on, so please come over and join. And yeah, again, thank you so much for being here. I feel like this half minute will tell you exactly how this is going to go today. I have no show notes. I have a lot of stuff right next to me. I'm sitting on the floor, or almost on the floor, in my reading room, which my husband turned into a get well nook for me. So I've been kind of cocooning myself in here. Okay, knitting in the past and what I'm wearing. It's the same thing. I am wearing the iDays cardigan. It's knit out of Barocco Vintage Chunky, and the pattern is a free pattern from Barocco, and it's designed by Cerelia Rose, and I think everyone has knit one of these so far, and I'm wearing mine. So here are the sleeves. I told you that they are quite form-fitting, and they are, but it's okay. And I'm gonna turn around, show you the back. So this is the back of my cardigan. It goes down to my hip, which you cannot see because I'm not going to be able to show you that sitting on the floor, but it's lovely. It's very, very warm because it's chunky weight yarn, so you know you're not going to freeze in this, and I love it. I just love it. And also I made after I finished it, I noticed that it's almost the same color as my dad's vest that I made for him a few years ago. So we did twinsy pictures that you can see on my Instagram. So the next thing that I finished is somewhere here. It's almost finished. It's like I'm done with the knitting, but there has to be stuff done. Now, I finished the loop that I was working on for quite a while out of yarn from Knitter's Nightmare. I do not have the label with me. Maybe I do. Let's see. Nope, no label. It is the Thank You for Being a Friend colorway. It's a Golden Girls reference, and it's just so much my colors that I decided I wanted to have this go around my neck rather than be on my feet, and I think it's gorgeous. It's quite long. I used up the whole skein, so there's nothing left. Well, it's not entirely true. I have about one green stripe left. Because when I started the tube, I was in the red section. As you can see here, right at the beginning, there's a little bit of the red. So when I stopped, I made sure that I did cast off in the red as well. So when I'm going to join the tube, it will all be the same color. So it's going to be this long when it's joined, and I'm going to stretch it out a little bit while blocking. I might have, I think it would have been good if I went up a needle size and knit this not on a US 2, which is what I did, but maybe on a US 3. But it is what it is. It's lovely. It's very soft and nice. So this will be a staple in my wardrobe for sure. Now, knitting in the present, there's not a whole lot because of, being sick and having tendonitis on both arms. So I had it from my elbow up to the tip of the pinky. And it sucked. It really did, because I wasn't allowed to do anything for a week. Like nothing. I was sitting there in my chair staring at the wall. I started knitting again yesterday, and then knit exactly 5 rounds on my sock over the course of 6 or 7 hours. So this is what I'm working on right now. It's it's a pair of Dobby and Winky socks. I have the first sock. The first sock is done up until the toe. So I'm working on the second sock right now, and I hope that this green will be enough, because I'm cutting it very, very short on yarn right here for this pair, because I'm using leftovers. So I just hope I will have enough. It's going to be a Christmas gift, and I might work on it a little bit more today. You know, I've been watching Grimm, which I'm going to talk about later. So I've started a new episode and I knit one round, watch the rest of the episode without knitting. The next episode I knit one round, watch the rest of the episode. So I hoped I will be able to knit maybe 2 or 3 rounds today. The other thing I am actively working on, theoretically, is the Silly hat pattern. I have finished the first pattern repeat completely now, and I think it does show up great on the yarn. The yarn is Stimpy Lab DK Weight. The colorway is Podcast Hero, and it is a nice mixture of turquoise, purple, pink, teal, black and white. The pattern, like I said, is called Silly. It's by Suvi Simola. It looks like this. It's a really easy pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. You can download and knit it. So these other things I've finished. My husband's coming up the stairs and I really hope he will not come in here because I don't know how to edit. So, oh, I have one more thing. I have started a pair of socks, and this is when I noticed that something was very wrong. It's out of this opal sock yarn that I have had in my stash for ever and ever. And I knit the cuff of a sock, and then I had to stop because it hurt so much. So this is a Christmas gift that I have to get done by the 26th. So I have a little bit more time for that. And yeah, these are all the things I have in progress right now. I have knitting in the future. I did sit down while I wasn't able to do anything else and looked through all of my knitting magazines. And there are quite a lot because I did subscribe to The Knitter and Interweave Knits, and I am currently subscribing to Pom Pom magazine. So I do have quite a lot of those. And whenever I was on vacation in America or England or Ireland, I picked up some knitting magazines. So I have a lot of them. I looked through all of them. I did get a lot of them sorted out for giving away because there's nothing in there I really want to make. But I found a lot of things that I really want to make. So I did write lists. This is for our new KAL. So I have this side, or this page, these 2 pages, these 2 pages, these 2 pages, and one more. Like I said, these are patterns from all of the magazines that I own that I want to knit sometime in the future. It's not all for next year. Let's be realistic. This is gonna take 10 years to finish, but I have an itchy nose and I don't know why. So I decided on a few things that I really want to make right now, and I came up with, I think, altogether 10 patterns. I did show 6 on Instagram. I did a little collage. One of the things is, or 2 patterns are in this issue of The Knitter, and it's issue number 12, and it's the cardigan from the cover that on the most beautiful model ever. I want to make this one. It's called Sedgemore, I think. Yes, it's the Sedgemore pattern by Amanda Crawford. This is one of the things I'm going to cast on. And the other thing, it's the first thing I'm going to cast on, is this tunic sweater thing. It's called Sylvie. It's by Mary Wallin. It's a Rowan exclusive. It's not a Rowan pattern. I checked. Or at least it doesn't say in the magazine. But isn't that sweater just this way around? It's so beautiful. It's very much my style. So this is going to be the first thing, and I really hope I can manage to make a swatch. And I have this yarn for it. It's purple gray marled. I have had this in my stash forever. I have bought this years and years and years ago in Vienna, and I don't even remember what the shop was called, but they made the yarn the way you wanted it. So it's made out of 7 different strands. I'm not sure if this will focus because my face is right behind. But yeah, can you see? It's a ton of different strands. And I think this will be perfect for this sweater. And I hope there's enough. So that is that. The other things I have planned, I'm not going to show because I'm going to show them when I knit them. These 2 are the first things, so I did show those. Now, what's next on the list? Spinning. There was no spinning. I do have a Bakewell Hearts advent calendar that I'm opening up every day. And I put the little bits and pieces that I have to spin in my big wooden yarn bowl. So whenever I am able to spin again, I will get through that. And yeah. No. Now, what's next? Of course, I don't have show notes because I can't write for that long. I did write the epic list over the course of 4 days. So, I don't have new stuff. I do not have an indie of the week. I do have reading, listening, watching. I read a book. Yeah, a real book. I did read a book. I read First to Die. I did read the German version. It's called Der erste Mord. It's by James Patterson. It's the first book in the Women's Murder Club series. Oder Der Club der Ermittlerinnen. And I really, really liked it. It's a crime novel. You know, it's about 4 women who find together and become friends and solve murders that they are all kind of working on anyways. So, it's a good crime series. I enjoyed it. Now, what did I also start? I also went back and read a few chapters in the Shadow Falls After Dark series. It's a trilogy, a sequel trilogy to the Shadow Falls Camp series. I'm in the 2nd book right now, and it's just, it's a good book, but it's just not calling my name. I don't know. It's weird. And then I started the first book in the Hollywood Gossip series by Gemma Halliday. Yeah. I read, I think, 2 or 3 chapters. And I'm not quite sure yet if I like her. If I like that series. I have 2 of those books on my new e-reader, and like I said, I'm not sure if I enjoy them. I'll read a little bit more and then I will decide. So, that's reading. I don't listen to stuff right now, but I'm watching. And I'm watching Grimm. I finished Grimm Season 1 a few days ago. I had started watching that, I think, years ago. And I just never went back to it. I don't know why. But, yeah, I had the last 2 episodes left of that first season. And I finished it, and I'm on to Season 2 right now. And I love it. I have always loved this show. It's awesome. My favorite character, of course, is Monroe, because he's fun and quirky and awesome. So, this is what I'm watching. Now, for what is next? Sewing, I think. I have a lot of sewing to show to you. I did make a purse for my husband's best friend. He commissioned me to make one for his girlfriend. And it was a birthday gift, and it's given to her. It has been gifted. So I'm going to try and find a picture on my phone because I'm quite proud of how it turned out. I'm going to show you this picture. Yeah, it turned out really nice. I did use the Ethel Tote pattern by Swoon Patterns as a guideline, but I made it wider, and I did add a lot of stuff. For one, I did add a zipper on top, which I've never done before, and I'm quite proud of how it worked. And I did add in inside pockets, one zippered pocket on the inside, and I did make a little phone pocket, which you cannot really see. But yeah, I worked on this and it turned out great, and I absolutely loved it. The other thing that I made that I'm also kind of unable to show you because they all have been gifted was a machine embroidery project, and I found these little thingies. They're woodland creatures with little Christmas hats, and I made these. They are quite big. They're 10 by 15 centimeters. That's 4 by 6 inches. And I framed them and gave them to my local knitting group as a little Christmas gift. So I made all different ones, and everyone got a different one. Now the things that I can show for real. I did make hats for my husband and my son. This is my husband's, and it is way more slouchy than I had hoped for. He says it fits him good around here, but can you see? It's super slouchy, so you really have to just kind of fold it down. And I asked him if I should change it, you know, make it shorter, and he said no, it's fine. He likes it the way it is. And what I reckon he could do, you know, is just fold up the brim to make it extra warm around the ears and have it be slouchy then. But no, it's his hat. He said it's okay. I think it turned out awful. But yeah, I'm kind of ashamed of it. But it, you know, not everything turns out great. So that's a not so great finished object. And then today, before I sat down to podcast, I made a hat for my son. I used this cute superhero fabric. And they are both fully lined. So, you know, he can turn it inside out if he wanted. I could have used 2 different fabrics, but I just didn't want to. So I didn't. But yeah, that's the hat for my son that I made. I made those both on the overlocker, and it's, you know, it takes up maybe half an hour, including all the cutting. The thing that takes the longest is hand sewing the turning, opening, shut. That is what takes the longest. So for other things that I did make, I was working hard on making a shop update happen in the first Sunday of December, and I did. So I'm going to show a few things that I have in my shop right now. I have made small project bags, which are, you know, these are the perfect size for sock knitting projects. These are all going to be ironed and combed, or, you know, run over with a lint remover to get rid of all the cat hair that might get stuck to it. So I have this one. And I know it looks very crumbled up, but it's going to be perfect when it arrives at its new home. And I have another one with this fabric that looks like this. I had 3. One of them is sold, so I cannot show that. Then I have a large project bag in this super awesome print. I love it. It's black with neons. And there's also a medium-sized bag in the shop, and then a new one. And then I have my Christmas special bags. They look like this. I have large ones, medium and small. I did only bring a large and medium. I didn't bring a small. I absolutely don't know why. And on the inside is this star print with gold and red stars. I always try to use up very light colored fabric for the inside of the bag so you can see better what's inside. So that's the big one, or my large project bag. Then here is a medium, and you can see the difference in size. So large, medium. I'm just going to hold up one of these small ones, and small. These are my 3 bag sizes that I have right now. And I also did make a bunch of needle cozies. I have needle cozies in the Christmas print, and they have the green inside that I have for the bottom of the bags. They look like this, or somewhere like that, because of course of the cutting of the fabric. And I also have a bunch of the black and white measuring tape print with different lining colors. And I have the green and yellow measuring tape fabric as well. And the inches and the centimeters on this print are correct. I did measure them. They're perfect. So you can measure your sock with these. And then I also have this one in the shop right now. That's the inside fabric for that. So yeah, there are quite a few things still in the shop. So if you want to get your hands on one of my Christmas bags before, you know, Christmas is over, you should hop over and check it out. And there are also a lot of things that I want to put in my shop with the first update next year, because I just realized that I have a bunch of hand knits that I made for my son that he never wore. So the first thing is this kicking bag. It's knit out of opal sock yarn. I will put those up, like I said, next year in my first shop update. I have the baby surprise jacket that you saw me knitting on the podcast. It's, you know, a really tiny, it's for a newborn. I have this vest that I made. It's a drops pattern that I used. I have the Baby Yours by Stephanie Pearl McPhee. It's knit out of Socks That Rock medium weight. That's the back. And he never wore that one either. And I also have a Baby Sophisticate out of Handspun. Another newborn size for, you know, small newborns, like small ones, because this is not very wide. So these will all be in the next shop update. And I'm working hard on, you know, thinking about stuff that I want to make for my shop for next year. And I hope that will work. And I hope that I will be able to, you know, have the shop really take off and just work. So, yeah, I think that is it for today. I am going to take it slow with the crafting. A little bit here and there. I hope I will be somehow able to finish all my Christmas gifts, because I still have a lot of things to finish. And, you know, it's the worst possible way for having tendinitis, or first, the worst possible time to not be able to craft. It's just awful. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm going to try and take it slow, finish and work on a few things here and there. And what couldn't get done won't get done. That's just the way it is. So, yeah. I hope you all have a wonderful time. I'm going to talk to you again, hopefully next week, with a little bit of stuff to show. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you enjoy everything you do. Bye.